Welcome to the second trading day of the week. It's February the 8th. I am Boston number 5, and this is your frontier opening bell. The Nigerian market softened by 16 basis points yesterday as investors booked some profit on the shares of MTN Nigeria, just as the news came in that the Securities and Exchange Commission has approved the allotment schedule for the telco giant's IPO, which was conducted in December of last year. That is one good news. Investors booked some profit. Those who apply for those shares will benefit from the dividend being paid for 2021 financial year by the telco giant. That's some pretty good news. Take me straight to the BRVM, where the composite index went up almost 1%. The Egyptian market deep dive 1.21% for the second trading day of the week. Then you've got 11 basis points decline on the Nairobi Bourse, while the South African market finished 63 basis points better at 75,679. Okay, what's making the headlines in East Africa? Yesterday, the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa held its Africa Business Forum 2022 with a very big focus on infrastructure for the African continent in terms of cargo, airplanes, road, rails, the entire intermodal architecture of infrastructure that we need to support the new AfCFTA. This runs into hundreds of billions of dollars. In the meantime, Kenya's Equity Bank Group and KCB have been named among the most valuable brands on the African continent. If you know these two banking group, by the way, you understand that yes, these are iconic brands of the African continent. When you look at the banking equity group with its footprints across East Africa, all the way down to Central Africa republics, and then all the way for KCB as well, very strong holding, and we say congratulations. Now, the Export-Import Bank of Tanzania says its profit after tax went up 70% last year. That's the end of fourth quarter to about 27 billion local currencies. And Uganda says 13 of the state-owned enterprises of government companies are profitable, and 3 of them actually doubled their profits for the 2020 period. Okay, look, just talking about the MTN Nigeria and the completion now of its initial public offer in the Nigerian market, the first phase, which was done last year. Now, GTCO says it's bought Investment One asset management and pension fund businesses as part of the expansion and the new holding structure of the company formerly known as GT Bank, now rebranded and restructured to become a holding company. Now it's bought back Investment One asset and the pension funds to begin to grow the financial services group. The shares of GTCO is listed on the Nigerian Exchange Limited. Then you've got Ghana says the latest report by Moody's downgrade is what you call clearly contradictory. And that's a bit from the authorities in Accra, by the way, looking at the latest sovereign report on Ghana by Moody's Investor Services. That came through last week. An Ivorian fund manager, ECP, has restarted its plans to sell its stake in Aura Group. Aura Group have a very strong hold in French-speaking West African countries, and part of the company is listed, or the group is listed on the BRVM. Then Guinea says in Guinea, we're here in West Africa, MTN has gotten a 4G operating license. Last December, MTN got a 5G license in Nigeria. Now it's 4G operating license that is secured, the telco giant has secured in Guinea. Let's start touch with Southern Africa. Quite a bit of headline news coming through. Telkom, which is one of the operators, says its mobile base grew just about 10% year on year in its third quarter of 2021. The other part of business grew even much smaller. That's just part of the earnings coming through for this season. And South Africa's net reserves down to about $55.005 billion as at the end of January this year, while the private equity startup Lightsmith Group says it's raised $186 million to invest in technologies that will support the climate change. So this all is what the company is going to spend this for, try to upstick the South Africa's contribution to the climate change and climate energy space. In the meantime, the platinum miners in Zimbabwe are asking the government to further defer the new 5% export tax that is placed on the mining companies doing business in the platinum sector. Oxfam is protesting against mining activities in the lower Zambezi National Park. There's been a bit of an issue in Zimbabwe where mining activities are conducted around the parks and all the parks, and quite a lot of government is trying to stop that. Now the social agencies on all of that, civil society groups are coming to say no to such mining activities around the parks where you have the animals and the game parks and all of that. Quite interesting story. Let's move on to North Africa and finish off with Afrexim Bank investing in Mauritania's leading fast-moving consumer goods, TND SA. FEDA is the agency, FEDA is the agency used by Afrexim Bank to support African companies that are export-oriented in terms of industrial manufacturing. Then the president of the Afrexim Bank itself, Benedict Orama, says the continent will need $160 billion in the EFCFTA investment in EFCA for airplanes and cargos. Dr. Orama was speaking on Monday at the Africa Business Forum 2022 held at the UN headquarters, United Nations Conference Center in Addis Ababa. The Bank Mercer of Morocco says it's pumping $201 million into Afrexim Bank, as well as Egypt reporting its net international reserves up to about $40.99 billion at the end of January, just around where Nigeria's FX reserves stood for the first month of the new year. And finally, Morocco and Qatar said they've signed 7 cooperation agreements in specific areas that will strengthen cooperation or handshake of business and economy between the North African economy and Qatar in the Middle East. And that's it for this morning on Frontier Opening Bell. As you get an opening bell in your jurisdiction, this is your trading day, everyone. I am Bosin Omofaye. I hope you enjoy this show. And again, we're available on your website, frontierafricareports.com. That's our website. You can see our videos and our stories. Of course, we're also available on YouTube. You can watch this show again and any of our other shows at Frontier Africa Reports on YouTube. We're on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as well, those social media platforms. Thank you very much, everyone, and I'll see you next time.